I guess one is that you can do video from anywhere because they don't care about the platform, they just care about the content is really happening. And TV is becoming internet and internet's becoming TV. And now video is vertical. One of the difference between a viewer and a fan is engagement. Stay viewer centric.
Welcome to the Animaker Genius Talk, a talk show where we interview the genius brains from the world of videos and we transfer their amazing knowledge to you. I'm Arvind from Team Animaker, hosting the show for you today. I'm pleased to present to you the video godfather, Bortone. He's a video strategist who helps brands, entrepreneurs, and companies create and craft their own video strategy. He has also authored 3 amazing books, the latest of which is called Video Marketing Rules and is available on Amazon right now. Welcome to the show, Lou. We are happy to have you here today.
Thank you, and thank you so much for reaching out and having me here.
Great. So, do you have any introductory words for our audience today?
No, I'm actually, I guess one is that you can do video from anywhere because I'm actually a guest in my sister's basement. This is not my usual location, but as long as you have a webcam, you're ready to go.
Amazing. So this is a great example of how anybody from anywhere can create great videos. All right. So let's dive into the show right away. I'm going to give you a simple glimpse of how the show is going to work today. We have 3 different sections in the Animaker Talks show. All right. The first section is called the Genius Journey. Every great story always starts with the hero's journey. Today, Bortone, you are the hero of the show. So help us understand your journey and how you started into the world of videos.
Sure, I started really young because I grew up at a TV station. My dad worked at a television station in Boston, and I spent a great deal of time there with him, surrounded by TV pretty much all my life while I was growing up. So I never really wanted to do anything else but work in the TV business. So I went to college for that. I went to college for video and communications, and I worked in the television business for over 20 years in Boston and Los Angeles. And then I finally started to move online in the early 90s, and I've been doing video marketing since 2005, the same year YouTube started.
Amazing. Wow. So, an interesting follow-up question. When and how did you decide to switch from the TV world onto the internet?
It's funny because when I worked in the TV business, I remember at E! Entertainment Television, we always used to talk about convergence, which was the coming together of TV and internet. And it took a little longer than they anticipated, but it really did start to converge and come together. And my last real traditional media job was probably in 2005. I have boy-girl twins, and I remember when they were growing up, when they were 5, 6, 7 years old, they didn't make any distinction between screens, whether it was a computer or a television or an iPad. It was just all entertainment to them, and they just wanted it wherever it was convenient and immediate for them. So they don't care about the platform, they just care about the content. So that's when it really started to hit me that, this convergence thing with TV and internet is really happening, and TV is becoming internet and internet's becoming TV. And that's really when I realized I needed to get on the internet side of things instead of just the TV side.
That's a really visionary thought process, given that you started very early in the lifespan of the internet videos. So what was one defining moment in your career with videos?
I remember, I'm sort of an introvert, so I do a lot of things online. I don't do a lot of networking things typically, but I do remember going to a conference once, and this was way back, but in Philadelphia, and I walked into a room and people actually recognized me, like, oh, there's the guy from YouTube. And I was really surprised, and it was kind of an aha moment that, oh my gosh, these people actually know me from my videos and I've never met them. And a lot of people would come up to me and say, I feel like I already know you because I've seen you on video. And that was a real defining moment for me, realizing that you can connect with video, just like you can connect in person.
So you basically became a celebrity, right?
I don't know about that, but I recognized me from the videos I had been doing.
All right. So what would you call as one big success and one big setback in your journey with videos?
I think I remember one of the big successes is one of my clients that I've worked with for many years. She was initially very, not very tech savvy, and she was very camera shy. She didn't really want to do video, but working with her and helping her, she now has over 500,000 views. Wow. On YouTube, 500,000 views. So she went from 0 videos to over 100 videos and 0 views to some of her videos have hundreds of thousands of views. And I mean, that's for me, I'm really proud of that, because we took somebody that was not video savvy and now she has hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube. So that was definitely kind of a success story. On the flip side, I've had a few products and courses that have really flopped and not gone over that great, which is interesting because I thought like, okay, I'm the video expert. I've got a great idea. People will love this. And I just assumed that I knew what folks wanted. And it turns out that, you really don't always know what your customers want unless you really engage with them and ask them specifically. So I think the lesson there was, don't assume you know what your customers want. You have to really ask them and dig deeper. So I had a few, products that I worked a long time on and just didn't, get off the ground at all.
That's a really interesting insight. Okay, so we've come to the end of the section 1. We'll move on to the next section, which is, I'm really excited about this section. We call this Inside the Genius Mind. Whenever we simpletons see some video on the internet, we always get this thought, how did they even come up with this idea? Today, we're going to see a live action demo of how your brain tackles a simple problem. Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a simple case for you. Let's assume that I am a high-profile prospect that you're trying to make a client out of, and I am a big blockchain technology company, and I'm big on Bitcoins and I've made a lot of money, but I'm very new to videos and I have absolute zero knowledge in the world of videos. But I want to start making videos and utilize video strategies for my monetary benefits. How would you come up with a video strategy for a client like me? You have 5 minutes of the floor, and you're going to show us a live demo of how you come up with a video strategy.
Okay. The first thing I do, obviously, is go to their website and as much as I can about that company. And then obviously talk with them and find out what their specific goals are for marketing and for sales. And what I find is that every situation is different. Every company is different. Everyone has unique needs, and you can't really use a cookie cutter solution for folks. So you really try and build a customized strategy based on, sort of the big picture. What do they want to accomplish? What are their goals and objectives? And build the video strategy around that. So we don't even start talking about video production until we've really talked about what their goals are. So once the company is clear and we're all on the same page as far as the goals, then we can start to put together a plan and a timetable. And what I do is I have a 7-step process that I bring clients through, which is what I outline in my book, Video Marketing Rules. And that is purpose, which is what we just talked about. So the questions I would ask them is, first one is purpose. What are your video marketing goals and objectives? The second one is premise. They're all P words. And that is basically, what is the key message that you want to convey, or the overarching theme of your videos? And then the next one is platform. And that is, I call that your video sweet spot. We try and find the company or the individual's ideal video platform. So what is the best platform for them and their goals and their personality? For some people it's on camera, for some people it's off camera. So it really just depends on what their sweet spot is. And then finally we get into production. So we've still done all this foundational work before we actually start producing videos. And once we start producing the videos, that's really a matter of how we're going to create and systemize and try and streamline the process. So take all the overwhelm out of it and create a system that makes sense for them. The fifth P is promotion, and that is basically how and where you will market and promote your videos. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, any number of platforms, your own website. And then 6 is power, which is basically leverage. How will you use those platforms and social media to leverage your videos and distribute and spread them out and make sure that they get seen. And then the 7th and final step that I use with clients is called profit, which is obviously how will you put all this together to monetize your videos and make sure that you're generating a return on investment. So that's the whole 7-step process that I use with most clients.
That's really amazing, Lou. 7 P's of video strategy. Wow, that sounds amazing. So all of these different points were really interesting, but I have a question. So can you just elaborate a little bit on power? What exactly you mean by that particular step?
Yeah, power is really just leverage. I just was looking for a P word, but leverage in terms of, are you repurposing your existing assets and your intellectual property? Maybe you have a lot of blog posts, maybe you have a lot of articles that can be repurposed for video. Are you making sure that you're getting them in all the right platforms? It's interesting because I was reading an article about CNN and Turner Broadcasting, and one of the things they said is they're on every platform. They don't care where people watch as long as those 3 little CNN letters are there. So it's really about getting your message in front of people wherever they may be.
That's an amazing thought process coming from a leader in video technology like CNN. All right, so that's amazing. You've come up with a live video strategy for us, and I'm sure all of our audience will be able to extrapolate it according to their niche. That's a very interesting insight, Lou. So let's move on to section 3, what we call picking the genius brain. All right, so we're going to ask you some simple questions, and you're going to give us some valuable answers, and we're going to pass it on to our audience for free. So this is going to be rapid fire section. So let's have 1 to 2 minute answers for each of these questions. All right, let's get started. Question number 1. What do you think about the latest trend in the video world, IGTV?
Right. Instagram is really making a big play with video, and it may be too soon to tell how it's going to work out since it's so new, but obviously Facebook and Instagram are putting a huge emphasis on video and on video platforms. And I just read that Instagram now has 1 billion monthly active users. Facebook has 2 billion users, which is even more than YouTube, which I think has 1.5. So both platforms, Instagram and Facebook, are really, really vital if you're a video creator, and you really can't ignore them anymore. The other thing that's interesting about those platforms, especially Instagram TV, is that coming from the TV business, we were always taught that video is horizontal and landscape, and now video is vertical because that's the way people use their phones. So it's really time for people to embrace vertical videos and really time to embrace mobile videos, because more than half of videos are viewed on mobile. So I think that's where Instagram and Instagram TV is going to come in, be powerful, because so many people are just using their phone for video.
Great. Really, your thoughts on mobile and vertical videos is really a very, very relevant point. So moving on to question number 2. Which brand do you think has the smartest video strategy, and why?
This is interesting. I was thinking about this earlier because I think the brands who integrate video into everything that they do, and they realize, like I mentioned earlier, that it's all one screen. I mentioned Turner Broadcasting. They have their properties like CNN and ESPN. They're very fan-centric, and they really focus on the end user experience. And in fact, I wrote down a quote from Jeff Zucker, president of CNN. Like I said, CNN, we no longer care where you watch as long as it has those 3 little letters on it. So I think the brands that are embracing that are going to do well. Another quote from that same article I was reading about Turner said that, and this is important, the difference between a viewer and a fan is engagement. So when you work on that engagement, that's when a viewer becomes a fan, and that's what a really, really important asset. One of the other brands that I think is doing really well with video is The Tonight Show and Jimmy Fallon on NBC, because they're repurposing all of their content for YouTube. So a typical audience for The Tonight Show on NBC might get 3 million viewers. Meanwhile, one of their videos on YouTube has 115 million viewers. So they have multiplied the amount of people seeing this because they're repurposing and they're taking YouTube very seriously.
That's an amazing insight. So let's go on to the next question, a very interesting question, and I'm personally looking forward to what advice you would give to our audience on this question. Blogging versus blogging.
Right. Good one. This is, I think that nothing beats video for creating know, like, and trust. And that's why I think video blogs are more powerful than written posts alone. So again, you've got an opportunity not to necessarily abandon blogs, but to repurpose your written content for videos. Because video helps with that I feel like I already know you effect that I mentioned earlier. And I think, there's a couple statistics that back this up. One is, I think it was Mashable that said 59% of executives agree that if both text and video are available on the same topic, they are more likely to choose video. Another cool statistic why it's so important to vlog and not just blog is that viewers retain 95% of a message when they hear it in a video compared to only 10% when reading it in text. So for me, blogging is a no-brainer.
Perfect. That's really what I was expecting too. So next question is 5 simple steps that I can take right now to get my first 1,000 views on my new YouTube channel.
Oh, good one. The first step would really be to research first and shoot later. Like, don't just, okay, I'm going to shoot this video. Take a step back, think about who your viewers are, what they want from you, what they expect from you. You have to know your audience and what they want and do that research before you start to do the videos. A second step would be, again, on the research side, is to do your keyword research, especially if you're using YouTube. A lot of creators and a lot of smart YouTubers will really focus on, what are the keywords and key phrases and build their videos around that. Before they even start to shoot, they're basically creating the videos from the keywords up. Along those same lines, the third step would be to be really smart about your video titles and optimize your videos for discoverability. So that means putting those keywords in the title and the description and the tags. You also want to create a really clear, compelling call to action in all your videos. You really have to tell the viewer what to do and encourage that engagement and that interaction. I often say, I tell my clients, the sad truth is that most people don't care about you or your videos until you care. So if you've done your homework and you've identified your target market and you've really figured out what they want and what they need, then you can build your videos around that. And lastly is to really be consistent. Keep posting, keep improving, keep trying to build upon what you've already got, and double down on the videos that are working, and keep researching. Just keep going all the time. It's not a one and done scenario.
Yep, consistency is a real simple but very tough task to go on. And so last question for you in the rapid fire section. Can you reveal one secret video strategy that you would otherwise charge your clients $1 million to reveal?
Yes, and it's surprisingly simple, and it sounds a little trite, but I always say, if you want more video views, make better videos. So make better videos. Begin in mind, know your audience and what they crave before you shoot, before you press record. Forget all the bells and whistles and focus really on content. I mean, you can add bells and whistles later, but it's all about the content. Stay viewer-centric. really think in terms of your viewers. What do they want? What do they need? What do they expect? And that's how you make better videos. And if you want more views, you just simply try and keep making better videos.
Amazing. Simple yet the truth. That's an important fact of how you can actually become a video influencer. Right, so we've come to the end of the questions that I have for you today. So
Great.
One last question for our viewers today. How can they find you? How can they reach out to you?
Yes, they can find me at bortone.com, Bortone. You can engage with me there, or you can find the book, Video Marketing Rules, on Amazon.
Sounds good. All right. So, Lou, for the sake of our audience and our Animaker community from across the globe, I give you 30 seconds to send one important message that they should carry from this interview.
Right. I think one of the important messages is that video is easier than ever and more accessible than ever. And even if you don't like being on camera, I don't particularly like being on camera. There are hundreds of ways to do video. You can use Animaker to make explainer videos where you don't have to be on camera. You can do screen captures or screencasts. You can do webinars, PowerPoint presentations. So video has a lot of forms, and really just find your sweet spot and go for it.
That's an amazing insight, Lou. Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. I am definitely sure our audience would have really enjoyed the amazing insights that you've given to them.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you so much. Guys, if you really enjoyed this show, don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon just below this video so that you can stay updated on all the latest episodes of Animaker Genius Talk. And if you're looking forward to see someone else on this show, make sure to comment below and we'll make sure to get them for the next episode. Until then, take care, stay safe. This is Arvind from Team Animaker signing off. Goodbye.